Constitutional is quite different. That's a documentary I started shooting during COVID and what I call the unconstitutional lockdown of America.
What's the end goal? Are you trying to sell it to like Netflix, or
No,
what are you trying to do
I'm
with it?
going to so I have 3 episodes shot right now. One was Arizona, the other was Chicago. This is during COVID. The other one was Minneapolis. So I
Yep.
caught when 148 buildings burned down. I was there filming
Yep. Yep.
stuff and talking with people. People forgot about that, and a lot of people don't know what really happened there. And so we caught some very interesting things. But the main goal of the documentary is to remind Americans, especially young ones, what our constitutional rights are, because most don't even know. Like freedom of speech was taken away. The right to assemble was taken away by, in Chicago. I experienced that myself. The right to express grievance to your government was taken. These are all things in the Bill of Rights. The right to go to church was taken away. So these are things that state and city governments don't have the right to take away from you. And yet it happened in broad daylight, and everybody went, oh, okay, that can't ever happen again. Now, so fast forward now into what's going on right now, you got POTUS elections coming up. You got constitutional crisis at the border between a state and federal government. Episode 4 is right now in America. You got us, we're involved in all kinds of crazy wars. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now to capture a moment. So we now fast forwarding to episode 4, and we're going to shoot that. The first filming is going to start in 2 weeks at Eagle Pass, Texas. We're heading to the border.
Who's paying for it? Who are you selling it to?
I've paid for everything so far. So I'm in probably, traveling and filming during COVID. I had videographers in place. I had the Sprinter. So maybe that's $500,000 or whatever. I don't even know, of time and stuff in the field, but it's something I'm just passionate about. I have a film proposal out right now to a couple investors to take, I'm not asking for a lot, $1 million for 49% of Unconstitutional. That just finances the road tour and a final editing, a little cinematography on episode 4, and to polish up the first 3 episodes. There's still a little polishing that you have to do on them. And then get it to digital streaming. And digital streaming I know how to do. That's a landing page, download an episode, $9.99, slide your credit card here based off a trailer. That's the space I just came from. I already know how to do that. And that's what I plan on doing. So you scan for tickets on the bus. I have no idea how to take it to theaters. I have no idea how to do international film rights, all that. So this one investor that's looking at the film understands the space. He's one of the largest investors for Sound of Freedom by Angel Studios. He's the reason they became what they became. He was here last Friday, Exit Strategy Boot Camp, to check me out, due diligence, and came to the Roaring 20s party. He's older. He only came for a little bit, but that's not a done deal yet, but
You're taking your chances.
he's thinking about it. And if it ain't him, it's going to be somebody else. And so I'm not asking for a gregarious amount of money. It's just enough to really get on the road and then finish the 4 episodes, or do episode 4 and then polish up the first 3 episodes. But once that's done, I can do streaming on my own. Digital download, landing page, release, $9.99, da-da-da-da. And once we show ground movement, that means revenue, interest, trailers, social media. That's everything you see on a whiteboard up there, right there. It's a plan. He can then take it. Now he'd be a 49% partner. Now he can take it to a theater or another buying group or the international, and say, hey, here's the trailers, here's the 4 up. They're actually downloading episode 1 right now. It's July 4, 2024, and they're creating pre-sales. So it's pre-sales that I'm going after. And I'll do this without the investment. I'm going to do this anyways. It just would happen a lot faster with some extra cash. Now you have a business model that's showing traction, and that's when you sell it. So a lot of people sell movies. I did a little bit of research. I've never done this before, but I've done a little, they write a concept for a movie and they go sell it to Hollywood. And you might be in a film, you might not. They own it. You might get a chunk of money. You sell it to Netflix, yada, yada, yada. We're not doing it that way. If you show proof of concept on the ground, and be willing to get on the ground and wrap your Sprinter and get out on the streets and do podcast and sell it on the streets at the street level, you're talking 20, 30x versus 2 or 3x, because you got a proven street model. So I don't know if anybody's ever done that before, but I'm going to sell it that way. I'm going to prove it on the streets first through digital downloads, and then either through him or somebody else, then flip it up and do a larger sale, kind of like the roofing companies we talked about. You got the checker game going on, we'll do the checker game on our own, and then play the bigger chess game later. I mean, I don't know how it's all going to play out, but I know that it's something I'm meant to do. And I think with what's going on in America right now, there's a there's all kinds. It doesn't matter what side of what party you're on. There's a problem in America right now, and there's a lot of problems. And somebody's got to get out there, start talking about it, and somebody needs to remind people what that Constitution is. I swore an oath to the Constitution as a military veteran. I was willing to die for it at one time. You don't make a lot of money as a soldier. You make like $1,500 a month to go die and carry a weapon and kill people. And so if you do that because you believe something in the Constitution, which I do, and I think a lot of people forgot about what that means, and they need to be reminded on both sides. It's not it's not a Republican or Democrat thing. It's an American thing. And so I hope that attracts the investment I need to do it. I think it will, because so far every time I move in that direction, it seems like the right thing to do. So I'm not worried about that. I haven't really figured out.
You feel like it's your calling?
Yeah, I really do.